had a comment the other day asking if I'm done with Conjugate. It is day 7 of the cut. I was gonna film my weigh-in this morning, but I went from the bathroom, hopped on the scale, over to my office to grab the camera, and sitting beside the camera was a can of Diet Root Beer, and I chugged the shit out of that can of Diet Root Beer. Then I was like, damn it, I got a can of Diet Root Beer inside of me. That kind of blew the weigh-in shot. But this is the current situation. Was 300 pounds before I drank the root beer this morning, so we are down 10 on week 1, which is a lot. It's fast, but a lot of that is water bloat coming off after the meet, so I ain't too worried about it. Anyways, it is squat day, so let's get to squatting. And I get the question because training does look very different right now, but when I read the question, I couldn't help but get just a little bit ticked off. And that question bugging me comes back to the reason why so many raw lifters think that Conjugate doesn't work, because they want to think that if it's Conjugate, it has to look like Westside. 8s are feeling good so far, so I figure we'll go 4 plates and decide if that is a work set or not. There's this idea that if there isn't wild looking exercises, there isn't bands, chains, boxes, max effort, dynamic effort, that it can't be Conjugate. And I do understand that, because we want to group ideas into these nice little boxes, but if we try to shove an idea into a box without fully understanding what that idea means, we're not going to be able to get everything out of it that we could. And if we want to get the most out of Conjugate, we need to ask ourselves, what does Conjugate really mean? And this is the part of the video where nerds will want me to specify that when I say Conjugate, I really mean Conjugate Concurrent, because in periodization, if we say Conjugate, we're more so talking about modifying exercise selection, whereas if we say Concurrent, we're talking about modifying loading parameters. When most people say Conjugate in the context of powerlifting, they're talking about doing both at the same time, a la Conjugate Concurrent periodization. But we're just saying Conjugate in this video. Conjugate means that within a microcycle, or even within a given session, we're using a variety of exercises and loading parameters to help push us towards our big goal. Max effort, dynamic effort, those are ways to modify exercises and modify loading parameters, but those are not the only way to do it, and a powerlifting total isn't the only thing we can use Conjugate to push ourselves towards. Whew. That got hard. Yeah. I found the going to sleep. You? Yeah. So this was work set last week. I'm hoping that not wearing Crocs will be able to go up at least a little bit. Oh yeah, we're fine. It's wild what having a solid platform to drive off of does. Okay, see if we can make 5 feel half decent. And for myself right now, during this cut, I do not give a shit about how strong I am,
I don't need to be doing max effort work. I still am going to be training heavy, but those rep ranges are going to be bumped slightly up because my biggest goal is maintaining tissue, and if I have slightly higher rep ranges, I'm going to be able to achieve more mechanical tension, which is going to help me maintain, if not grow, a little bit of tissue along the way.
So the thing that I hate the most about training with Cole is that he is strong as shit on everything that isn't a barbell, which means that I have to work harder on machine stuff if I want to keep up.
And someone might argue that if I kept max effort work in through the cut, I might not lose as much strength through the process. But the thing is, I know how much energy I feel like I don't have while cutting, and I know how much energy training max effort work right takes out of me, and I'd rather sacrifice that bit of extra strength loss to be able to accomplish more of the big picture that I need to be doing right now during this phase of training.
I was like, I'm just gonna share the leg press with Miana, but then I realized that she unracks the leg press from the bottom, and I'm not sure what to do about this situation. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till she's done. All right, took a plate off the sled here, so hopefully I can, help. Just pull it up. There we go. So, realized Miana had the seat way angled forward, so hoping this feels less bad once again. Might move foot up a bit. Oh yeah, that's the ticket.
And I don't need to be explosive. I don't need to be fast right now. So I'm not going to be doing dynamic effort work either. And if anything, like my velocity manipulated training is probably going to shift the other way because I want to be able to slowly and in a controlled manner access ranges of motion that I haven't touched in a long time. And by doing slow down tempo work, I can ease back into those ranges before I start loading them at a more normal velocity.
Craig, were you on here last? Oh, you left this weight on? 13. Yeah. Okay. Fuck. Okay. So this is what Craig was doing. So I guess only goal is to not shake like I did last week. That's a little better.
And as far as my accessories go, that's probably where I'm going to be changing the least, but the goal of accessories isn't going to be so much to fill in strength gaps, but more so to fill in the ranges of motion gaps, more so to fill in where I feel like I need more tissue stimulus, and more so just to do things that have been ignored over my last few meet preps.
And I want a little bit of a break from the Nordics, so GHR is to start the real hammy work of this off season.
And to me, what Conjugate really means is allowing ourselves the flexibility to use every tool available to structure the plan in the best way possible to let us accomplish what we're trying to accomplish. And since what I'm trying to accomplish is pretty much the exact opposite of peaking for a powerlifting meet, my training should look very different from how it did in meet prep, but that doesn't mean that the root philosophy has changed at all.
All right, GHR setups. Still not sure if I'm ready to load them. You guys can see the chatter. Even if they're chattery, they at least feel like kind of closer to decent.
And this doesn't mean that I think max effort or dynamic effort are bad. It just means that I don't think they're appropriate for my current goal set. And when I do get back into a powerlifting meet prep, you can be sure as shit that those are going to come back into the picture. So guys, even if it doesn't look like Westside, we are very much not done with Conjugate.